Welcome to what promises to be a wonderful edition of Off the Cuff, or OTC, because the guest today is somebody we admire, we love, and for me personally, somebody who's been a teacher and a guru for a very long time, and a very forgiving one, if I may say so. Arun, wonderful to have you on Off the Cuff, and thank you very much. Great audience of Chennai. I think the hotel has run out of extra chairs. We are so sorry some people have to stand in the back, particularly ladies. My apologies to all of you, but blame Arun for this. So Arun, you gave a great exposition on the book and the ideas. Now, from what I understand, are you debunking or are you stopping short of debunking the idea that there can be religious visions which cannot be explained rationally? Or are you saying that all religious visions can be explained rationally, like Ramakrishna Paramhansa not breathing for a long time being sleep apnea, or could be like sleep apnea?
No. You see, the question there is, for instance, about the question of visions. The idea is not that they can be explained. Many people like us, or anybody suffering from Parkinson's or from many other diseases would have hallucinations. That's not a vision. In Ramakrishna's case, the vision would be, he will suddenly start feeling, I must see Krishna. And he will, it is this condition called, in meditation, total immersion. So he would be so immersed in Krishna, but time has passed, Krishna has not come. So he says, no, no, no. This must be because I must first have Radha's permission to see Krishna. So I must, and actually I want to see Krishna as Radha saw him. So his level of total immersion was such, his depth of total immersion was such, that then he will start wearing a lady's clothes. He will start wearing jewelry. His gait will change. His voice will change. Even those who were very close to him would not recognize him. And sure enough, Krishna would appear. He would feel, oh, I want to see Lord Hanuman. Now then, he couldn't walk. He will hop. It's not an act. He would not be able to take cooked food. He would take only raw food. He started living on the tree. He says, my eyes became restless like that of a monkey. He says that, no, my tailbone in that period grew by 1 inch. Now, you can say it is all lies, it is all imagination, it is fabricated, but the better way would be to say, let us see, take him at his word and see whether this can result from total immersion. So that's what the book explores. That I get so immersed. The same thing happened, he wanted to see Jesus, he wanted to see the prophet. The same sort of sequence occurs. But so is it really that there is a Jesus or there is a Krishna who appeared? Or is it that this total immersion so changes my psychology that I see what I am yearning for? Because Sri Ramakrishna would say, put the maximum emphasis on longing. A devotee asks him, sir, when will I see God? So he said, I'll tell you. The same question was asked of a guru. And the guru he said, I'll tell you. So he took him to a lake and said, drink water. So the man went down to drink it. And the guru pressed his head into the water. And kept it there, and kept it there, and kept it there. And then released it. He said, how did you feel? He said, sir, I thought I would die. I yearned for breath. He said, when you yearn for God that much, he will appear. Now the question is, at that time, is it the yearning that leads us to that experience, or is the experience something else? That's the question which is considered. So it is not to debunk or anything like that. It is to examine, and I am modest enough to have put as the subtitle, the first word is speculations.
Right.
Not conclusions.
It's the only time an author is calling his conclusion speculation. How do you see this when you hear the current clamor that time has come for India to become a Vishwa Guru?
So this is just, I've said this earlier, a friend of mine used a phrase, in Sikhism we say, in Punjab we say, Jo bole so nihal.
Then we say Sat Sri Akal. Then we say Sat Sri Akal.
Sat Sri Akal.
But Jo bole so nihal means whoever chants God's name shall do fine.
Shall ascend.
Prosper, yes.
Prosper. तो हमारे यहाँ है जो hyper बोले so निहाल. So this Vishwa Guru something at a time when we are tearing each other, when we are lynching each other, this is delusionary. And actually speaking, how much of the ancient culture which these people embodied, which Gandhiji embodied, is there in us today? We are not living that tradition. So, kiske guru banenge? You want to see good writing on Buddhism today? You will see it in the West, not in India. So, I don't think that this is just this current craze for using big words. 21st century will be the century of India. ऐसे ही थोड़ा बन जाती है. You have to work at it, and you have to work at it for a century.
You can't order it in the next.
And nor can you wish it.
Not even wish it, unless you worked at it.
Yes.
So, there is a soft power aspect to this Vishwa Guru business. We had Klaus Schwab tell us that India can become a much bigger power than it is. It can punch above its economic and military weight if it uses soft power much better. So isn't spirituality a part of India's soft power? This World Yoga Day, for example.
No. Firstly, soft power works if you have hard power. China if it sets up Confucius institutes abroad, they will work only to the extent to which it actually acquires physical power in economic strength or in military prowess. Second thing is that yoga, yes, it's a good demonstration of something or the other. But as far as spirituality is concerned, unless we become practitioners of spirituality rather than overt religiosity, that's not something that the world will take us seriously for. In fact, our talking of spirituality and lynching somebody is going to only show up the contrast, and we will be regarded as hypocrites. So please, if you want to be this Vishwa Guru business, I'll give you a simple example, not from spirituality. You see Gandhiji's case, Hind Swaraj, he always said, this is my testament. It is the plea for an alternate to Western civilization. But what are we doing today? It is only Westernization. Unthinkingly just running in one direction. There are many good things in the West. We should learn that. But what has that got to do with an alternate to Western civilization? We say Gandhiji, and we say he's a Chatur Baniya. Gandhiji is our soft power, the emblem of our soft power. और हम कहते हैं वो चतुर बनिया है. You think the world is not listening?
Mr. Shourie, my name is Mahrukh Inayat. You mentioned that today we're increasingly, all religions talk about the inner search, but today increasingly the focus is on the external. And you mentioned, a green sari would make you, make people believe that you have a Muslim heart. My question is, this increasing focus on the external, is it because of the polity we have, the politicians or the government in particular at the center right now, or is it because of the people? Is it because largely people also, because just to blame the politicians alone would be unfair?
Oh, there must be a fertile soil, but the seeds are being thrown by somebody else. So the primary focus has to be, the primary responsibility is of the politicians. and of these so-called religious gurus who are keeping quiet on this and maybe encouraging it on the side. Because after all, 5 years ago, these things were not happening. Just 5 years ago. How are they happening now? I believe, you take a thing like Gau Raksha. I sincerely believe it has absolutely nothing to do with devotion to the cow. It has only, these are love jihad. These are things which are being thrown up so as to provide a rationale for the local bully to browbeat the persons and become more dominant in his own region. That's what it is. In love jihad, I'll give you, that's an external example, that Muslim boys are wooing in Hindu girls, converting them so that they'll be Muslim children, etc. How is it that the moment the last vote in the elections in 2014 was cast, love jihad disappeared? And there is a pattern. Some people whom we can say, "Arey nahi yaar, Modi ko pata nahi hai, ye to Meerut mein koi keh raha hai." Somebody in Meerut is saying this. How can the Prime Minister be listening to everything? Actually, he's all the time listening in Twitter also. He's very well informed. But in any case, these chaps make these inflammatory remarks. They start these the local incidents. And they go on and on and on for 6-7 months. And then it is that the Prime Minister makes a general statement. Motherhood is good. This is not our culture. Gandhi ji would not have approved it. तो 7 महीने थे, गांधी जी याद नहीं आए थे क्या? So I think that this is not to do only with the people, but it has the primary responsibility. You see, if I may just use a phrase I had once to use when Karan Thapar had asked me this question, the Prime Minister of India is not a Deputy Secretary in the Department for Homeopathy in the central government. He is the Prime Minister. He has to set the moral tone for the country. And when this first spark of such an incident takes place, he must be the one who settles it, who says it's right or wrong. None of us has that voice. तो ये मन की बात इतनी देर के बाद याद आती है. And at the time of the Muzaffarnagar riots, I had actually made a study of the Twitters. What do you call this?
Twitter handles.
Twitter of Mr. Modi's tweeting business at that time. What was he tweeting about? All sorts of things. James Cameron ko happy birthday, Mahesh Sharma ko happy birthday, but not about the killings. So it is not that he was uninformed. वो बेखबर तो हैं, पर इतने बेखबर भी नहीं.